we're going to go into our next guest, which is Reginald Ringgold. Reginald, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm glad you're here. All right. Blockvest Decentralized Exchange. Now, that is something before you had my interest, but now you've got my attention. Give us some background on this, and then let's walk into some of the changes that Frank Dodd, which, that's almost like two cuss words in itself when you say that to some people, but what they're going to do. But first, background on you and your company.
Well, so my company, obviously, Blockvest Decentralized Exchange is a exchange for blockchain-based assets and digital securities, as well as an index fund. The biggest thing, that I guess we're big on is the decentralized aspect. If you're familiar with, what's happened in, the recent 2008 financial crisis, a lot of the things that we saw that led to that was just a lack of oversight by these regulators. And then decentralization can cause a little bit of a front running within order books and market making and manipulation. So what we've done is we understood very clear what blockchain and distributed ledger technology was to do, going to do for finance, international trade, and commerce as a whole. So coming into this space, we've done, a lot of work in providing liquidity and being investors in a lot of these ICOs. Unfortunately, a lot of these ICOs haven't produced much ROI, from their initial listings. And this is mainly because most of them aren't decentralized. So blockchain, the principles that have made blockchain great are decentralization, but a lot of these companies come in and they use blockchain technology, but they may not be operating with a governance structure that is decentralized. So what we decided to do is, coming in with our initial crowd offering, we're coming off of a Reg A approval, and we're going to be able to get investors from pretty much anywhere in the globe. We have a governance mechanism where the foundation is pretty much coming in and making sure that the nodes are honest, but the platform is ran by the nodes and the shareholders that are the token holders of the Blockvest token. And then you've got, your stable coin. This year, stable coins have become on the rise. We've created a dual token mechanism where our stable coin addresses volatility issues by pegging its price to 1 unit of account. This will address some of the concerns that institutions have and long-term investors. So we're able to do all of this mainly with us having an exchange model that operates with liquidity coming from VCs, investment banks, because this is our background and our arena where, we pretty much have expertise and the right connections to do, what we've been doing thus far.
Let me jump in there. Now, liquidity is a function of not only funds being traded back and forth, but also volume of, just like you do on the exchange, you have open interest and you have volume. So how many people are trading and how much money are they trading? So in order for this to actually take off and work, everybody's got to get in it and start trading. And then you also have the reason they have an SEC is to make sure that you don't get any bad actors, real term, in the mix. How do you cover all that? How do you cover all that?
Well, with the SEC, obviously the SEC is coming in and, they've decided to take a step back a bit, in terms of regulating things as security or a utility. Let's face it, 99% of these coins are securities. Right. If you're offering a return on your investment to your investors, most of these things are security. Now, in terms of the liquidity and the user base, which is the demand, in order to be able to have, a user base that is there creating velocity for these tokens, you have to have something that's proprietary that improves people's lives. Now, in our case, we're taking traditional financial products such as S&P, gold, or oil, putting them on a smart contract so that they're self-managed and immutable, having it open sourced on the blockchain, and then settled in cryptocurrency. So what this does is it creates an environment where you're able to now trade and not have to worry about your house being, up for risk. just from opening an account and trading an options contract or a futures contract with the Merc. The way they operate now, I can put 10 grand in my account, and if I get slipped because they don't catch it based on a margin call, I can owe more, than I put into the account, and they come after my assets.
Right.
If you're dealing with a peer-to-peer spot broker, who's contract broker instead of a market maker spot broker, all we're doing is just matching orders. There is no incentive to take the other side of the trader's trades. So our platform, we understand that our utility and our case use is first of its kind, and our competition has no vested interest in coming out with these products because, yes, they've got trading desks, Bitcoin trading desk, Ethereum trading desk, but they settle in fiat. It's the same pig, just a different wig.
All right, I've got more questions for you, but we have a break coming up, so sit tight. We'll come right back to you, all right?
Okay.
All right, Reginald Ringgold, financial industry strategist and top fintech influencer, Blockvest Decentralized Exchange, BlockvestICO.io. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. You listen to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. We're talking with Reginald Ringgold, financial industry strategist and top fintech influencer, Blockvest Decentralized Exchange. All right, Reginald, I gotta say, I was around and when Globex was not up yet. I was in the room with the guys that founded it in San Francisco when they were just trying to get this thing started. You got to start somewhere, but man, you have got to have a massive network for the liquidity factor to work. But the thing that I think you got going for you is crypto moves so much faster with the adaptation than anything ever. You could in 3 days you could have massive amounts of people and money flowing through this exchange.
Well, it's the settlement. The remittances are instant. You wait probably a matter of minutes versus maybe days with the egregious delays you see in the other markets.
No, I'm not talking about the exchange of money. I'm talking about the exchange, the adaptation of people in the industry sector. They can go, oh, it's great, boom, telegraph, zip, and then next thing you know, you've got 15,000 people in the sector.
It does go back to the exchanging. I'll give you an example. If I'm trading with Fidelity or TradeStation, and let's say that I want to go off to a broker that is on a stock exchange in Europe, like Eurex, right? I'm going to have to go ahead and withdraw my money and then go ahead and transfer it to a bank over there or open it a brokerage account over there. I have to go through a whole bunch of steps and hoops. Whereas cryptocurrency and blockchain, because there's interoperability between these systems, you're able to go ahead and take the money and withdraw it and have it go to, let's say, from a Coinbase to a Binance in a matter of minutes. If you don't like Binance, you can go from Binance to Kraken or Kraken to Blockvest. So this is why when you see people come in and they see maybe a Instagram post where a Floyd Mayweather says, hey, go buy a Centra coin, or you got Steven Seagal backing, somebody's particular ICO, they can then go in and easily buy, that token because they've got access to move the money fluidly without any issues. And the banks have made it easier, too, with Zelly and Square Cash. I'm sure you've seen Cash App recently include Bitcoin in their offerings.
They're all doing it. Okay, let me jump in here. Frank Dodd's Section 508. Let's touch on some of these because you're going to come back again. We have too much in common, too many things to talk about to get it all crammed into today's interview. Frank Dodd, Section 508. It was important. Let's bring it out for just a second.
So improving access to capital, that's what Section 508 was. And they kind of rewrote it a bit and now made it to where you can now, after filing a Form D, you wait about 1 quarter. You then can go in and do your offering with a Reg A offering as long as you're reporting per the reporting requirements after the fact. Now, this also applies to publicly traded companies that may have failed to meet the filing requirements of the prior year. Also, they have to stay below 75 million, but it's a good way for small companies to be able to raise funds through crowdfunding and not have to worry as much about the AML and the KYC issues. And a lot of them aren't following it anyways, but, when I'm an investor, it's nice to know that, the person that's driving the platform isn't going to go to jail because maybe they didn't follow certain things or weren't aware. As these projects grow, you can't be on top of everything.
Right. Now, let me skip ahead a little bit here. The new JCO Jobs Crypto offering, what's that all about? Tell us about it.
So the Jobs Crypto offering is just the Form D with the Reg A, and it's specifically for, obviously, crypto offerings. It doesn't have to be a crypto. Obviously, I in fact, I don't even like saying the word crypto. I like using digital assets. Some of these particular crowdfundings, if they go the route where they're doing the JCO, the Jobs Crypto offering, if the ICO doesn't become successful, they can go to the OTCQB markets and gain liquidity there. So a lot of these developers, they are using the ICO route because they think that it's the only option, the most successful route for them to be able to get to market, when now the SEC is taking a step back and just trying to kind of, take a kind of a laxed approach and let the community kind of decide what it wants. Because at the end of the day, if it's truly decentralized, then there's not really much they can do for regulation. And you can see they recently said Ethereum, they're saying a few days ago, it's not a security. I mean, obviously they're late to the party on that revelation, but, if it's decentralized, there's no one behind it that can manipulate or front run the order book. And that's the biggest thing that they were, trying to protect the investors from.
Got it. Right. Reginald, you're going to be a wealth of referrals for me because of all the ICOs coming through you that are trading, all the cryptos that are coming out. So I want to have you back on the show, but we got to run for now. Real quick, contact info so our audience can reach out to you because we're really moving ahead in your direction.
Excellent. Well, you can reach me on my website, reginaldringgold.com. You can also go to my LinkedIn. You find me at Reginald Ringgold. I mean, pretty much you Google anywhere, I pop up these days due to the blockchain advocacy that I've been doing. I'm very open, so if you guys reach out to me on a LinkedIn or a Facebook, I definitely do respond back to the community. I'm also Crypto Ringgold on Twitter, Facebook, and all the other profiles. So if you look me up, Crypto Ringgold, that's CRYPTO Ringgold, spelled RINGGOLD. Really appreciate the time.
My pleasure. We'll be talking soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
You too. Reginald Ringgold, BlockvestICO.io also.